Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Mike. Mike. Hey, that's good.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, but it'll be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey, Steve 6.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A carry now for McKissick. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And Amendola with a catch. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford, and he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Stafford. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Check 26, check back.
On the carry, it's Cook. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 93 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, there was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Hey, high 7.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a run with Cook. And he's got room. this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They run again on first down, Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. On second down, Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Under 10.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Pass from Stafford caught by Amendola. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a first down following a gain of 3. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Cook. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Stafford. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Golladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 13-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Play fake, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. An update from Buffalo, and it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, and their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Completing it here to Marvin Jones. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now Stafford. The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. A first down throw for Cousins. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
It's been a long day for you.
Throwing is Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. This complete to Jones. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open. Probably.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe. that might actually pop and turn into a big play, that's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Hey, give me radar. Hey, zoom. Hey, easy.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Stafford on 3rd down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at about the 14. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead here. Before we talk a lot about pregame speeches, what are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Jahan, Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Black. You remember me? 5.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell gun.
Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Right.
At the 43-yard line.
He's coming. X3, 218, chopper.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
70. Kick 20. Kill. Turn up. 32. Hey, Charlie.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. 3rd and long for Cousins. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll run with McKissick. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety, Harrison Smith. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the ground, this is Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. We'll likely put an end to this thing. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run it with Johnson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's McKissick. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game. And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Mike, 50, Bravo. 53, Mike. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Following the interception, Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Lions, it's a 4th win on the year as they move to 4-9. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they
Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like